You heard it from me first. Plus 79.
Oh my god.
Okay, well, I'm seeing pieces. We are low on gas. So long. Like with the Subaru, they were so small. This one is so tiny. It's insane. And of course, we are low on gas. That's my fault. But you guys remember on the last video that I said we're gonna perfect the Fitment a little bit more. We're pretty limited on what we can do with the wheel setup just because we are on stock wheels. As far as the Fitment, we're pretty limited. So we're gonna try to give it everything that we got for right now. And that video is gonna start right about now. So not too long ago, I told you guys that with the new PBM coilovers that we threw onto the Corvette, that we still had to spice things up. I'm just not satisfied with how it sits, and it just takes away from the looks of the car. A lot of you guys might not agree on this, but I did make a video on it talking about spacers. Yes, we're gonna be throwing on some spacers. I kind of wished I showed you guys this process, but for the spacers, I had to shave down the fenders. As you guys can see, it's all shaved down. There used to be that tab that most fenders have, but we went ahead and shaved it. The reason I didn't film it is because I didn't really trust the process and I didn't want to make a complete fool out of myself. And yes, the fender liner came off when I was driving on the freeway, but with the spacers that we're gonna put on, you're not gonna be able to see all this junk back here. But yeah, the PBM coilovers have been holding up excellently well. They look absolutely good even when they're dirty. But let's get into the spacers. So to make these 20mm spacers fit, as you guys can tell, the studs, well, you can't really tell on camera, but the studs on these are pretty long, so they stick out past the spacer. So if we slip on the spacer just like this, once we put the wheel on, it's gonna poke out by that much. And as you guys can tell, I already did some damage to the OEM wheels just by doing so. Guys, look at the specs on these wheels. They're absolutely outrageous. 20x10 plus 79. That's just bizonker spec. But yeah, first order of business, besides shaving the fender to make these spacers fit, we need to shave down the studs to make the wheel fit. This part of these studs aren't super like important because there's no thread on them, so we're gonna shave that part on because I feel like that's what's messing up our Fitment. There it is, guys, nice and shaven. Like I said, it does not affect the threads at all. All the nuts go into place really nicely, guys. I lost my other glove, guys. I swear, I always buy these new gloves from Harbor Freight, and then I use them one time, never see them again. This is 20x10 plus 79, guys. You heard it. You heard it from me first. Plus 79. That's insane. So quick little comparison, just because the car is not off the ramps, this doesn't really count, but this is the rear Fitment. Oops. And again, the car is still on ramps, so it's not fully to its proper height. This is the rear Fitment. Way better, and we get all that clearance now. All right, so this is the other side. Now, I didn't film it to you guys. Obviously, just saw it on the other side, but turned it out by just that much so that we can perfect the wheel Fitment on the rear. I love how the coilovers sit in this angle for the struts. It looks so cool. Definitely need to get the PBM arms, basically the whole PBM catalog for this car. We're gonna focus more on the fronts, but for the rears, we're also gonna make sure we touch a lot of stuff in here, especially for the rear upper control arms. I know with the C7, you can't get much pull negative wise with the upper control arms, but with PBM, I believe they say that you can get at least -3, which is better than nothing, so that we can really perfect the Fitment. I'm not trying to camera this thing out, but obviously I want to get good Fitment on this car so that we can make it look nice and pretty. By the way, a lot of people say that when you're torquing down your spacers, when you torque it to spec, after about 50 to 100 miles, re-torque them again, just for like verification or safety purposes. For my sake, we torque these down to 110. I always torque everything down to 110, even though a lot of people don't suggest it, and the owner's manual don't suggest it. But to be honest, I've never had an issue with over torquing my wheels. Yeah, no, these wheels need to go. These are heavy as balls, man. Shout out Dev, by the way. We're not super static, obviously not static at all, but let's go see how much clearance we really have. We're less than halfway stiff with the dampening knobs. Obviously, I don't think we're really not low enough to be freaking, you know, stiffening this thing up. I feel like the preset that it has right now is absolutely perfect for driving. The wheels are dirty. Gosh, yeah. So for the fronts, I actually did spice up the fitment, but then the fitment was just way too perfect. I was afraid of cracking these fiberglass fenders, so I took out the extra 8mm. But right now, it does have a 20mm with a 5 slip-on, so technically a 25. It's not too bad. Full tank, baby, and it only cost me $76.98. Well, gas is only like $4.06 right now. This is incredible. Go California. Wasted opportunity, no tunnels for me. There's too many cops here. Oh boy, these plates right here are gonna hurt, and I know it, but I'm documenting it, so I'm not gonna feel too bad for myself. Holy moly. Okay, well that wasn't bad. Usually when I pass it, I like bang frame, but I guess God's always on my side. But he was watching my car too, so this is good. So the other day I posted a video of my car on TikTok. And then somebody commented that my car looks really weird without a spoiler. And I was like, oh my gosh. They got to my head, so I bought a spoiler. It's nothing crazy. It's pretty much just, it's really just an eBay one. But it's one of those wicker bill styles. It's popular among the Corvette community. Honestly, I think they're questionable, right? But I built my Corvette on CarX Drift Online. And I put a wicker on bill on it. And it looked pretty cool. I forgot to show you guys the one where it was paint matched. This one is gloss black with fake carbon. So we're gonna go see what it looks like. If it looks good, then maybe we'll add our finishing touches to it. But let's get to work with this thing. I'm praying it looks just like the pictures on eBay, or else I'm gonna start like flaming this thing. What the frick? Okay, well I'm seeing pieces, so there's multi-pieces to it. Okay, this is the gloss black winglet. This one right here. The other winglets. And then the spoiler itself, which I think this one is the fake carbon part. Oh crap, it looks like the hardware is not black, and I want black hardware. Oh, this is all gloss black. Hey, wait, we have no fake carbon, guys. Mission accomplished. This is good. This is really good. I'm liking it. Okay, guys. Well, little mock-up. It has like 4 pieces total. So these ones, 2 winglets, and then the gurney flap in the middle. I guess it adds some flavor to it. What if it was paint matched? Not too bad though. You know, usually for this process, I would probably bolt this thing onto the rear bumper where it's supposed to be placed. But we're not tracking this thing, and this spoiler is 100% for race-inspired cosmetic enhancement purposes, aka rise. So we're gonna clean the surface, and then we're gonna double side this tape into this thingamajig right here. So I test fitted it on. Guys, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if it's just because I'm not used to how it looks. Mo, in my opinion, it looks alright. I mean, I've never really liked the silver hardware on the back of it. And the black. What if it was paint matched? I don't know. It makes the car look scary, definitely, but I have a weird feeling about it. I don't know. What do y'all think, bro? Again, I didn't want to put a spoiler on, but someone said my car looked naked without it, so I just had to order one and try it out. It's not the worst thing out there. It looks all right. I'm not a fan of all like the difficulties in it, like the hardware and stuff. Let me know in the comment section down below. What do you guys think about the stage 3 wicker bill on the Corvette? Okay guys, well, I know dang well we're gonna freaking scrape, so we're gonna make this useful by gonna go freaking film this before someone gets behind us. Oh gosh, this is gonna hurt, gang.
See that?
I know this one's gonna hurt. This one's gonna freaking hurt. Oh my gosh, how embarrassing. Oh, the people behind me are like, what the freak? Okay, that wasn't that bad as I remember from last time. Was that bad? It was okay. It was okay.
I feel like last time was worse.
Last time was worse because I don't think we angled that much. I'm still getting used to the whole like low, like no bags thing, like the quote unquote static thing.
I think last time we also didn't really know it was gonna be that bad.
Yeah.
So it caught us off guard.
Not bad. Scrapes, I give that like a 4 out of 10, right? Could have been worse.
Could have been worse.
Okay. Okay, to be honest, the spoiler is not too bad. Like, I think I just needed to get used to it, but I think I gotta retake it off and like refit it. Also, we need to go to Target so that we can buy me some new socks.
Didn't you just buy socks?
Yeah, like a whole month ago. That was like 30 days ago, but that one's only like a 12 pack of socks.
So
Do you think I'm gonna reuse the same socks twice? No. We throw them away every single time we use socks. Hey, check this out though.
Oh my gosh! Ow, I'm sorry. My stomach.
And cut! Guys, I really don't know what it is, but I've been having this like addiction for grapes. They're really good. I really don't know what I'm about to go out and do today. I called out of work because this morning, or like for the past 6 hours, my whole body was hurting, like lower body, like everything was just hurting, and I have no idea why, but I feel a little bit okay, and I don't want to waste the day, so we're gonna be as productive as possible. So yeah, like in the title of today's video, basically I had a spacer that bust down a move, like it cracked in 5 different spots. I've never had this experience ever in my life. When I still had the WRX, I actually made a video talking about spacers and all like the pros and cons, but there are a lot of different reasons of why people don't like to run spacers, why spacers could be potentially bad for your car, and just the overall like misconceptions that people hear with spacers. Those are still true, but I gotta talk about how breaking this spacer was yet alone my fault. Not sponsored by Starbucks, but I got this cold brew from Starbucks. Feeling a little fancy today. It's one of their, I don't know how you say this, venti pumpkin cream cold brew. I love dark coffee, guys, but this one's amazing. I feel like it does have sugar in it, obviously, but that one hits the spot real nice. So as you guys saw when we were installing the spacers that we currently have on the Corvette right now, we had to shave down the studs, basically because the spacer wasn't thick enough and the OEM studs for the Corvette were pretty long. That being said, if I ran it like that, imagine you mounted the wheel would be basically hitting those studs, and that's probably not the best thing, or I don't think anyone wants that to happen at all. Story short, when I installed those other spacers that broke on me, I actually didn't shave the studs at all. They were the same size, same 20 millimeters. I just kept on trying to torque it. It just wasn't doing it. I was like, this is really weird. It came to the point where I heard a weird sound. I was like, what the heck? I was like, okay, I mean, maybe it just needs to be torqued like when it's off of the ramps, right? I put it on the floor, torqued it some more, boom, crack. I looked inside, I was like, oh my gosh, these spacers are freaking they're cracked. Like, I can see why the studs being long and trying to tighten the wheel to the spacers would cause it to crack, but it's just crazy to me because out of my years of using spacers on every other car, I've never had this happen to me, and I'm just glad it didn't happen when we were on the freeway, because that would have been bonkers, right? But yeah, I don't want you guys to get the wrong idea of spacers. Depending on the spacer you get, of course you don't want to get one that has like, obviously look out for the reviews, right? If there are like reviews on certain products that people keep on cracking the spacers, that says a lot about it. For the most part, I never go too crazy when buying spacers, although I should, but I also don't buy the cheapest one. I kind of find the place in the middle grade area. When I made the WRX video talking about spacers, one person actually commented calling me a dummy because apparently people hate on spacers because of the leverage. that the wheel puts onto the spacer and the spacer puts onto the hub, like where the OEM studs are. That's another reason. Like I said, there's just a million different reasons on why people hate on spacers. I personally, I've never had a bad experience on it, so I can't really like, you know, hate on it too much. Spacers have given me positive, you know, results in many things. Like example, when I had to put my OEM wheels with my WRX just so that it wouldn't rub on the bag, or just overall to get good fitment on any other car. I mean, since I don't even have the car anymore, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, with the WRX, with the weak wheels I had, I believe they were like the Braze that I had, I was running 50mm spacers like all around. That's freaking like 2 inches, guys. It was freaking massive. I got scared a little bit and I was gonna like break a bearing, a wheel bearing, or I was gonna break like the axle or strip the studs, like snap the studs in half. But luckily we had that on there for like half a year. Nothing bad ever happened to it. So thumbs up to those 50mm. I mean, those things were tanks. I can't imagine those things would break. The only worst case scenario that I can really think of is that it would put too much pressure onto the OEM studs and cause it to snap. It was an interesting time, guys. Would I do it again? Probably. It's one of those things where you can't think about it too hard. You just have to do it and then never think about it ever again. But here it is, guys, with the 20mm spacers. I believe those are 20s. Yeah, those are 20s. We put on the rear and then we shaved down the fender for like the ultimate fitment. Honestly, this is the best that we can do with the OEM wheels, like with the fat tires. These are as low as I would go, right? I wouldn't go 275, 265. I would stay here, potentially go a little bit higher. But at that point, I would just need some wider wheels so that we could have like a little bit of just barely any stretch, barely enough to call it stretch. Video, we actually threw on an 8mm spacer like 2 weeks ago, but the fitment was just too perfect. Like it looked really good, but it was to the point where if I turned the wheel at the wrong time, it would snap these fiberglass fenders, because you guys know with fiberglass you can like bend this thing and it would just snap. So we're gonna need some camber to run a perfect fitment, and probably have to run a little bit of stretch for the fronts only, just a little bit, minor stretch, guys. I know you guys hate stretch, but I'm doing it just for the fitment purposes, not where the part where the lip is showing out. But then here is another one besides the fitment, guys, the eBay wicker bill that a lot of people have been getting on my neck to buy. I ordered front lip and side skirts too, but they have yet to come in. Hopefully this week they come in. The silver hardware, I am not digging it. I went to Home Depot trying to find some black hardware, but there was really none that I could find for the specs that I need. But we'll see what we can do with that eventually. It looks so naked without the skirt and the front lip, but once they come in, I'm sure it'll look way better. Yeah, like I said, I wasn't a big fan of this wicker bill, but this kid on TikTok told me my car looked weird without it. So I was like, you know what, freak it. Let's go buy one on eBay, put it on the Corvette, and then overall just see what it looks like. Like, I mean, I'm not hating on the wicker bill. I'm not saying that I love it. It looks cool, but in my opinion, I don't know if it's because of like the silver hardware and I'm missing like skirts and a front lip. It looks ricey in my opinion, but it adds character to the car, so we're gonna leave it on. But yeah, guys, I know the Corvette's looking a little naked right now, like we're still missing the front lip and side skirts, but in the next video, we'll definitely install them because they should be coming this week. Let me know what you guys think about today's video, about the Corvette overall, in the comment section down below. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. I know you guys aren't really feeling the Corvette videos too much because I feel like not everyone has a Corvette. I feel like with a WRX, it was a little bit easier because everyone had a WRX, but hopefully we can still make it the same. If not, just a little bit tweaking of difference. But I'm trying to make the videos as general as possible, just so that it's fair for everyone, no matter what car that you have, right? Like, yet alone, even if people are watching these videos or not, I'm like a big scrapbooker, right? So like, I like collecting memories. I like tracking my progress, like just seeing where things are at in the beginning, see it go up all the way until something that it completely wasn't just a few months ago. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Drink your water, eat your vegetables, guys. I know it's winter, but you know, it's always good to eat your grapes and drink your cold brew and some water. Until the next time, I'll see all of y'all later. Have a good one. Peace out.